Hello students. So in the previous class when we were talking about that of the magnet students, so we studied that what are the different properties of the magnet. So the magnet, they used to align itself and they are freely suspended. They align themselves in the north and the south direction. The second is that the second property of the magnet is that the allied poles of the magnet, of the two magnets, they attract each other, they show the attraction, and the like poles of the two magnets, they used to repel each other. So we can say that the like poles, they repel each other, and unlike poles, they attract each other. Later on, we also talk about that making of the magnet students. So we studied that how can we make the magnet. We will simply take a bar magnet and that of the iron bar. We will hold the iron bar and with the help of the bar magnet, the lower end of the bar magnet, if we move it against the that of the iron bar and repeat this process 30 to 40 times, it starts behaving like a magnet. We also discussed about the electromagnet student. Electromagnet is what? The magnet which is produced through electricity. When we apply the electricity to a object, to a magnetic material, and then what will happen? That material will start behaving like a magnet. As the electricity is going through it, it will start behaving like a magnet. It will produce a magnetism around it, and that magnet is a strong magnet. But as the electricity is stopped flowing at that time, it will come to its original position. It means it will lose all its magnetism. So until and unless you are applying electricity to it, it will behave like a magnet. Otherwise, it will lose its magnetic power. Okay, so that is a strong magnet, and we use the term for it, that is electromagnet. Then we came to that of the precautions. Precautions while handling the magnet. Handling the magnet. Okay, handling the magnet. So what are the precautions we should take while handling that of the magnet student? The first precaution which we had discussed yesterday also, but the first precaution is that we do not heat the magnet as it loses its property. So the first property of the magnet, that we should not heat the magnet, because due to heating, what happened? The magnet will lose its property of the magnetism. The second property is do not drop it from a height. Okay, so from a height we should not drop it. From a certain height we should not drop the bar magnet. We should not drop that of the magnet, because ultimately it will lose its magnetic property. Then the third one is the precaution that we should take while handling that of the magnet student. That is, do not beat it with the hammer. Okay, so we should not beat it with the hammer, with the help of a hammer, to that of the magnet, because again the same thing happen, it will lose the property. And the fourth one is, students, that is fourth one, that whenever not in use, we should keep the magnet properly. Okay. so whenever it is not in use, we should keep the magnet properly. So these are the precautions, student. The first one, that we should not beat it with the hammer, because if you beat it, what will happen? It will lose the magnetic power, it will lose the magnetism. Second one, we should not drop the magnet from a height, from a certain height. Okay, so what will happen when you drop it from a height? Then it will lose its magnetism. Okay. Third one is that we should not heat the magnet. Okay, so if we will heat the magnet, the same thing happen. It will lose its magnetic power and ultimately lose the magnetism also. And the fourth one, if suppose we are not using it, we should keep it proper. Okay. Now, keeping is not like that you have simply kept it anywhere. No, we should keep the magnets in a proper manner. So, keeping of the magnet is keeping the magnet in a proper way is also necessary. Why is this so, student? Because basically, what happens when you keep a magnet for a long time without using it, then what will happen? It will start losing the property of the magnetism. So, we have to keep the magnet in such a way that it will not lose its property. Okay, so these are the precautions, and in the last one we studied that we should keep safely, we should keep properly the magnet when it is not in use. Now we will study that how can we keep the magnet in a proper way. So in both of the cases, student, whether it is a bar magnet or that of the horseshoe magnet, in both of the cases we should keep the magnet in a proper way. Now if we talk about that of the bar magnet, student. So the first condition in case of a bar magnet, that we should always keep them in pair. Okay, which will be separated from the other pair by the wood. Okay, so we should always keep them in pair. The second one, the unlike poles of the magnet faces towards each other. Okay, so unlike pole, if a north pole and the south pole is there, so these two poles are faces towards each other. Then next one is a soft iron bar is kept at the ends, okay, of the magnet. And the soft iron bar which act as a keeper. So this soft iron bar, it is actually a keeper. So which help in keeping the magnet. Okay, so basically this soft iron bar is kept at the end. So we should keep the magnet in pair. We should keep the unlike poles, that is if it is a north pole, if the north pole is at the left side and the south pole is also at the left side, so we will keep them in such a way that both the unlike poles, they faces towards each other, and due to which the property of the magnetism will retain in the bar magnet. Then a soft iron core or the soft iron bar is kept at the end of the magnet, students. So a soft iron bar is kept at the end of the magnet. That magnet, it will be at the end of the both of the magnet. Both magnets. Okay, students. So these are the conditions for keeping the bar magnet safely, properly, so that it will not going to lose the power of magnetism. Okay, so these are the conditions, students. We should keep them in pair. If it is a north pole facing at the left side, and the other bar magnet whose south pole is facing towards the left side, then we should keep them together, and there at the end of these two magnets we should keep a soft iron bar at the ends, and this soft iron bar acts as a keeper, or we can say that it acts as a magnetic keepers. Okay, so it helps in retaining the property of that of the magnetism. Okay, so this is the case for that of the bar magnet, students, in which we have seen all these things. What happens if suppose we take a horseshoe magnet? Okay, So if the question is asked that how can we keep that of the bar magnet, you will always write all these points that we should keep them in pairs. Unlike poles should face each other, and the third one, the iron bars, a soft iron bar should be kept at the end, across the ends of the magnet. What happened in case of a horseshoe magnet, students? In case of a horseshoe magnet, in case of a horseshoe magnet, student, what we have to do, we don't have to put the north pole, south pole, unlike, because this horseshoe magnet is consisting of both the things together facing towards each other. So this is the north pole, this is the south pole. In case of that of the horseshoe magnet, so we can say that we will kept it simply like that by keeping the soft iron bar across their ends. Okay, so in a horseshoe magnet, we will keep the horseshoe magnet as it is by keeping a soft iron bar across its ends. Okay, so we will keep the horseshoe magnet as it is by keeping a soft iron bar across its end. So in the first one, in the bar magnet, we have to keep them separately. We have to keep them in pair. We have to keep in such a way that the unlike poles, they face to each other, the north pole and the south pole of the other bar magnet, and we should always keep a soft iron bar across the end of that of the bar magnet. Here in case of a horseshoe magnet, we have to simply keep it like that, but a soft iron bar, which is also known as a magnetic keeper, should be kept across the ends of the magnet. So soft iron bar is what, student? It is a keeper which helps in keeping the property of a magnetism in the magnet. Okay.
So we had discussed about that of the natural magnet, students. So natural magnet is that of the magnetite or that of the lodestone which we obtain from that of the earth crust. Now if we talk about the artificial magnet, so we discuss about that of the electromagnet which work on the basis of the principle of electricity. The artificial magnet is also available in a device. It is also present in a device, and that device we call a magnetic compass. So today we will talk about that of the magnetic compass also. Okay, so in this compass you will see, student, basically why this compass is made. So this compass is made to find the direction more conveniently. So this compass, it help to find the direction. So if you see the compass, basically what is the thing which is present in the compass, student? So in this compass, magnet is not suspended from the thread. So you see, student, to find the direction we have studied that we will take a magnetite, we will take a magnet and suspend it with thread, and that thread will align itself to that of the north and south direction, and thus we can understand that what is the direction of the north and what is the direction of the south. But here in case of a magnetic compass, the magnet is not suspended from the thread. Okay, so it is not suspended from the thread. So how the magnet is attached to that of the compass? So here, student, this tiny magnet in a compass, it is free to rotate on a pivot or a pin. Okay, so a small pin is there. You can see here a pin is present here, and this from this pin is known as the pivot, okay, or that of the pin, and the needle is attached with this, and due to which the needle, it starts rotating, it starts moving in that of the magnetic compass. So in the compass, the magnet, it is not suspended from the thread, but it is attached to the one point of that of the magnetic compass. So here it is present in this pivot, in this pin, from where it can rotate the magnet. Okay, students. Now, since this magnet makes this pivot, it makes the needle to move easily, to move properly. So we can say that this is what? This is a freely pivoted magnet, students. Okay, so this is a magnetic needle is there, and this magnetic needle help in moving this needle in that of the compass, in that of the magnetic compass, and it is attached to one point, to that of the one pin, or we call it as a pivot, and through which it can rotate easily or freely. And since the pivot help it to rotate freely, we will call it as a freely pivoted magnet. Now, just like that of a freely suspended magnet, a freely pivoted magnet, it also comes to rest through a north-south direction. So when we are talking about the suspended, so in that one, we had tied the magnet with the thread and suspend it. And when you freely suspend it, ultimately it will align itself in the north and south direction, and by which you are able to tell that the proper direction. Okay. The same thing here also. Here it is not the freely suspended but freely pivoted needle is there. So after some time you will see that this needle will also comes to rest along that of the north and south direction. So whether it is a freely suspended magnet or that of the pivoted magnet, both of them have the function that they used to after suspension, they as they get suspended or as they comes to rest. Okay, so as they comes to rest, they will align itself in the north and south direction. Okay, so this is a compass. Now we will understand that what is the things which is consisting in compass as well as the uses. So if we talk about the compass, student, so compass is what? It is an instrument to find the direction at a place, and the compass is based on the property of the freely pivoted magnet to itself along that of the north-south direction. So you see here, student, this magnet basically it works on the principle that it helps in finding the direction of a particular place. Okay, so if we talk that what are the things which is present in that of the compass, student, that is, so we can say that this compass is basically based on the property of a freely pivoted magnet, and which when it slows down, when it comes to red, it arrests, it aligns itself in the north and south direction. Now see here, student, in the second one, the compass has a tiny magnet in the form of a needle and which can rotate freely on a pivot. So if you see here, student, this compass, it is having a small magnet. That is why this compass, the needle is also known as the magnetic needle. Okay, so it is having a very small magnet, and that magnet is in the form of the needle. It means the needle which is present in that of the compass, student, it is basically made up of a magnet which we called as a magnetic needle. Okay, and that is why it, when it is freely suspended, or we can say when it is freely pivoted, at that time it, as it comes to rest, it aligns itself in the north and south direction. So since a tiny magnet is there, and that magnet is in the form of a needle, and this needle can freely rotate on that of the pivot or that of the pin of the magnetic compass. Now the third one is the magnetic needle of the compass is enclosed is in a small brass box having a glass top. Okay, so this is the brass box, students, and in this brass box a magnetic needle is there, and that magnetic needle is basically it is a part of the compass, and it is enclosed in that of the in that of the brass box. So we will say that it consisting of a magnetic needle, this magnetic compass consisting of a magnetic needle. Second, it consisting of a brass box, and inside the brass box there is a magnetic needle which is made up of a made up of a magnet, and basically present in the compass, help in showing the direction. Okay, so what are the things that we have studied here? So first one, that it is an instrument which help in showing the direction of a place. Then the compass is basically, it is based on the property of a freely pivoted magnet. We have studied about the freely suspended magnet. This will work on a freely pivoted magnet which align itself in the north and south direction. Then the second one is the compass which is present in that of the magnet, the compass which is there. It is basically consisting of a small magnet. Thus a small magnet is in the form of a needle, and this needle it used to rotate freely on that of the pin or pivot. Then the next one is that pivoted magnetic needle of a compass. It is enclosed in the small brass box which is having a glass top. Okay, so small brass box is there which is having a glass top, and in which the magnetic needle is present there. Now you see here, students, this magnetic compass, it is having a circular dial with a various direction marked on it, and the needle of the compass always comes to rest along the north-south direction. Okay, so you see here, student, it is consisting of a circular dial. A circular dial is there, and in this circular dial, what you will see here, student, it is showing the north one, it is showing the it is showing the east one, this is showing the west, this one is showing the north, this one is showing the south. Here between the north and east, northeast is there. Between east and south, southeast is there. Between west and south, southwest is there. Between north and west is northwest is there. So you can see that this one is a circular dial, and in this circular dial all the directions are marked. Okay, and these directions, it tells that it is the east one, it is the west one. So the magnetic needle, when it comes across, when it comes to the rest, at that time you will see the north and south position, the north and south direction which is marked. There only you will see the magnetic needle will going to stop. Okay, so it will comes to rest at the north-south direction of the magnetic compass, in which the directions are marked properly. Now see here, student, fifth one is the north pole of the magnetic compass is painted with a different color to distinguish it from the south pole. So you see here, student, the north pole of the compass needle is painted with a different color to distinguish it from that of the south pole. So this is the north pole, this is the south pole. If you see it here, so what you will see, student, the south pole is of a different color, that is a green color, and the north pole is of different color, that is a slightly goldish, slightly gold color, or that of the yellow color is painted here. So you can see here, basically the meaning of this statement is that if a north pole and that of the south pole is there, so how will you distinguish that which one is the north pole or which one is the south pole? We will distinguish with the help on that of the color. Okay, so the north pole is colored with a different color, painted with a different color, and this color will help us to find that which one is the north pole and which one is the south pole. So by seeing the painted needle and the painted portion of that needle, or painted point end of that of the needle, we can understand that this pointed end is actually the indicating that of the north pole. Okay, so one is the north pole, another is that of the south pole. So till now we had discussed, student, that magnetic compass is basically used for seeing the direction, consisting of a tiny magnet, that is a magnetic compass. Okay, we call it a magnetic compass. This magnetic compass is suspended through that of a freely pivoted or that of the pin, and as it slows down, what will happen as it comes to rest, it will align itself along the north south direction, and the north pole and that of the south pole, they are colored with a different they are painted with that of the different color, which enable us to distinguish between that of the north pole or between that of the south pole. Now you see here student, if suppose we have to find the direction of a place, then what we will do, we will take a compass kept on a flat surface at the place, and the needle of the compass will come to the rest or being stationary along the north south direction, and the compass is then rotated until the painted end of the needle is towards the end mark on dial, and the other end of the needle is towards S mark on that of the dial. Okay, so if suppose this is a dial student, and if you are going at a certain place and you want to find the direction of that particular state, okay, that particular place. Okay, so what you will do, at first you will take the compass and you will keep that compass on a flat surface. Okay, so when you kept that compass at the flat surface at a place, then when you keep it there without touching it, then what will happen, the needle of the compass at that time it was continuously moving. Okay, and as you keep it on that of the flat surface, this needle of the compass will start becoming slower and slower, means the movement it becomes slower and slower, or we can say that the needle of the compass will come soon to that of the rest position, or it becomes stationary. Okay, and as it comes to rest, becomes stationary, it will always align itself along that of the north and south direction. Okay, so before that it was continuously moving, as it comes to rest it becomes stationary, it will align itself along the north and south direction. Now the compass is what it is when it is rotated, at that time what we will see, that you have to wait that this compass comes to that of the painted end, that of the painted end of the needle, which shows that it is a north pole, comes to that of the end mark on the dial, and the other end we have to wait it till that magnetic needle comes to the south mark on the dial. So the dial which we are using, dial it means that of the magnetic compass we are using student, in that the magnetic needle will be there and it is continuously moving. Now you have to find the direction. What you will do, you will keep this needle, you will keep this compass on that of the flat surface. The needle which is moving, it comes to stationary, comes to rest, and what you will see that the painted portion of the needle which we indicate the north one will comes to the north mark on the dial, the north mark which proves the north direction. Okay, like if suppose this is the north direction and this is the south direction, and the other will comes at as it comes to rest, it will comes to that of the S mark, that is the south mark on the dial. So one will comes to the north mark on the dial, and the another one will comes to the south mark on the dial. Okay, so by this you will understand that if you want to see the needle of the compass, what you have to do, you have to keep it on the flat surface. After some time it will comes to rest automatically. Okay, so we have to wait that it comes to that of the north and the south position. Okay student, now what we will do, we will understand that of the what is the uses of this magnetic compass. We are using the magnetic compass for the different purpose, but how the people they use the magnetic compass frequently. So if you see here in the uses student, so in the uses, so if you see the first user student, in case of a magnetic compass, you will see that this compass is used by the soldiers in the jungle to find the direction for their movement. If suppose the soldiers, they used to go to the jungle, and at that time if they want to find the direction, how they will find it student? With the help of the magnetic compass. Okay, so this magnetic compass, it help them to give the direction of the their movement, okay, as well as it help in giving the direction the north and that of the south respectively. Okay, so with the help of this compass they are able to find the two direction, that is the north south, and by which they are able to understand that of the other two direction also, that is the east and west. Okay. Now you see students, not only by the soldiers who are living in the jungle uses that of the magnetic compass, but if you see that this compass is basically used by the sailors. So it is used by the sailors while at a sea, so as to take their ship in the right direction. Okay, so this compass is basically used by the sailors when they are at sea, and in that they take their ships, and with the help of this compass help them to give the direction, and as they get a proper direction with the help of the compass they can take their ship in the right direction. So basically this compass is helpful for the sailors at the sea, by which they are able to find the direction, and they can move their ship in the right direction as well. So these are the two different uses of that of the magnetic compass. So magnetic compass, it is basically used by the soldiers who are living in the jungle to find the direction for their movement, and the second one is this compass is used by the sailors who are living at the sea, so that the ship they are taking should take in a right direction. Now if we talk about the other things student, like if a freely suspended magnet is there, so or a freely pivoted magnet is there, so whether it is a freely suspended magnet or that of the freely pivoted magnet, in both the cases what you will see students, you will see that both of them they as they comes to rest they always align itself, they always point in the same direction, and that is the north and south direction. So a freely suspended magnet or a freely pivoted magnet help in giving the north and south direction of that of the to the sailors or to that of the soldiers also. Okay, so suspended magnet or a freely pivoted magnet is very useful for that of the travelers, we can say. Okay, so this is the construction, we can say what are the things which is present in the magnetic compass, as well as the uses of that of the magnetic compass, students. Okay.